Okay, Coach, we are about 15 miles south of downtown Buffalo at New Era Field in Orchard Park. Nothing like the fanfare of introductions to an NFL game, and that was in evidence a moment ago. Fireworks, pyrotechnics, you name it, this crowd is ready as their guys get set to match up between the Orlando Orbits and the Buffalo Bills. The first 2 months of the regular season down. What will the final two bring us as we're off in Week 9?
All day, baby. Let's go. Let's go. Come right. 96. I got one. Okay.
On first down, Bryant. Oh, and this ball's tipped and intercepted. Picked off by Eli Apple. And they will finally bring this run back to an end, but not before he's down inside the 5-yard line at the 4.
Brandon, when we sat with the offensive coordinator and the head coach and talked about how they wanted to begin this game offensively, they talked about their script, didn't they? 10 to 15 plays, the first 10 to 15 they had on their script. Nowhere on the script was there throwing an interception, I have to believe.
Yikes, a 4-yard loss really sets them back now for second down.
Nice play right there to stop him behind the line, but I want to see how this defense continues to play him here in the first half.
Yeah, we know, you know better than I, he has the ability to take over a game, so what do?
Yeah, I think you have to make sure that you bottle him in at varying levels, because if you crowd everyone to the line of scrimmage, if he breaks through, there's nothing but room to run.
A gain of 3 yards. It's now a third and goal. Shoot. Sling. Get him on. Yes. Kill.
Oh, he almost picked it. Nearly a turnover there on their opening drive. And that's a throw he'd like to have back. Now 4th down.
Not only was the call spot on, how about the execution of that defense right there? The zone was absolutely locked up tight. He was trying to force it in there on 3rd down.
But if there's a time to force it, he felt like he needed to make a play, right?
Yeah, exactly right. 3rd down, you got to try and find something. There's nothing available there for him.
In the end, the opening drive, Charles, does yield points. Maybe not the touchdown that they wanted, though.
Yeah, but bottom line, they wanted to get something out of that drive, and they did that. 3 points, they won't turn that down at all.
The offense back out there at the line, ready for their next drive. Not the way they wanted to begin things. You had the interception on the first play of the game. The good news, it only led to 3 points.
And remember our conversation with him prior to the ball game? He said they had something special designed for the first play. It didn't hit. Let's see if he can rebound from it and not let it get him down.
So from the 39 now, they'll come up on a 1st and 10. Back to throw. Bryant, they'll set up the screen here to Mixon. A good pickup there on first as the screen pass gets him 8.
For a second there, I thought that might break big. Screen pass, looked like it was coming together, looked like there was an opening. Still, ended up with a solid game.
Facing a 2nd and 2 after that last catch, good for 8 yards. Second and 2. He's got a first down and then some inside the 40. And he'll be brought down somewhat awkwardly here, and a late flag as well. I think this one's going to be a face mask. So they'll take the yardage and tack on 15 more for the face mask.
Talk about a play that absolutely costs you in the end. Just trying to do your job, right? Trying to get him on the ground. Next thing you know, they'll march off another 15 against your squad.
Now Joe Mixon. They'll be brought down at the 21 after a pickup of 4.
When we see those runs to the perimeter, when we see those runs to the edge, we think about big breakers, don't we? In this case, it was a modest gain, but it does open up possibilities here on second down.
Following the pickup of 4, here's 2nd and 6. 2nd and 6. He's going to have the hook up to Ross. And all the way down inside the 5 to the 4. Now they'll have it 1st and goal following that gain of 17.
At the 4-yard line.
They'll give it to Mixon, and he'll get blown up behind the line of scrimmage, back at the 6. Call it a full 3 yards in the wrong direction there. Brings up 2nd down. 2nd and goal from the 6 this time. Looking to throw. Bryant. He's got Njoku, his big tight end. And he's brought down right at the 5-yard line. Give him 2 on the play. Only able to pick up 2, and that leads us to 3rd and goal. They'll look to throw on 3rd and goal. Eluding the pressure right. And this is going to be incomplete.
It's a great job by this secondary. When I watch them, they remind me of elite defenders on a basketball court, right? They want to contest each and every pass.
Great contest on 3rd down to bring up 4th. A good drive gets them inside the 5, but they could not punch it in.
And credit the defense, too. Make sure that happens, because that was the old bend but don't break approach. Made sure they contained them when they absolutely had to and forced the field goal attempt that went through.
This is taken at the 3. And penalty markers down on the field. And they might be backing up a bit here to start the drive. Yeah, this is going to put them back with a not great field position.
So they really got zero benefit at all, right? Sometimes you can absorb a penalty when you get a big return. Then the penalty brings it back, but you still have great field position. As you pointed out, not in this case.
Now Saquon Barkley. And he goes nowhere. He'll lose yardage back at the 17. That's going to go as a loss of 1 on 1st down.
An interesting and intriguing decision there defensively, because they kept extra DBs on the field despite seeing the multiple tight end look that came out for the offense.
I thought they were going to switch out of it. I didn't know if they felt they didn't have time or what the case was.
Well, in any event, the extra speed allowed for great penetration as they stuffed that one behind the line of scrimmage.
On 2nd and 11 now. Haskins. And a quick throw here. That's complete. 6 yards is the pickup, and that'll lead to a 3rd down.
An ex-teammate used to tell me all the time, I hate experienced quarterbacks, because no matter what, you really can't hide what you're doing. And I think that right there, he knew right away where the blitz was coming from, where his primary guy was going to be, and he ended up going to a secondary target for a nice game.
I was just going to ask you, that wasn't the primary target. He's so good at that, isn't he?
I think he knew right away that he wasn't going to get to his primary guy. I think he read that as soon as he got to the line of scrimmage, knew where the pressure was going to come from, and said, I know how to beat that. And that's what he did.
And he'll be corralled right around the 34. 11 yards and a Buffalo 1st down. From the 34 now, here's 1st and 10. Now Haskins. This one complete to Christian Kirk. And he'll be taken down, but not before they work it across midfield. A good pickup there, 21 yards. These two teams all tied after 1. So on the other side of the field now, it's 1st and 10 as they've got things rolling on this drive.
Check the backer, check the backer. Jet Bama. 22, Jet Bama.
Quarterback, don't get nervous now. We ain't beginning.
No.
Don't get nervous.
Check 26, check 26.
A give to Barkley out of the gun. 5 yards on the carry. Good pickup on first down.
One thing to keep in mind, partner, especially in the second half, when you've got a running back of this size, of these dimensions, I can just tell you, attrition does set in for a defense because you're excited about hitting him in the first half. Maybe not so much in the second half, and some of these shorter gains turn into bigger runs later.
Mike is a 50.
From the 40 now on second down. Haskins. He rifles one that's intercepted. Picked off at the 25. And they're going to set up shop at the 27-yard line.
Well, that's a drive killer right there. Not a really confident throw either. This one was kind of up for grabs, and it's going to come down the hands of the wrong team.
You got three down. Watch the way. Undercross.
On first and 10, Bryant. They'll tussle for it, and this is going to be caught. An excellent way to start the drive there, 18 yards. Those are the kinds of plays right there that show you why he's the number 3 man in the NFL in terms of receiving yards.
Also tells you there's a full combination of what he's got going in his game. You name it, from route running to catching the football. That's why he's able to produce those types of numbers.
And the first play of the drive there is incomplete.
The beauty of being able to play a zone defense, when you can sit back and see the ball coming out of the quarterback's hands, guess what? Creates a lot of confusion, kind of a muddle in the middle of the field where you can go make a play on the football.
So after the incompletion on first, now second and 10. To throw again, Bryant. Open man is Ross, complete. And he's going to get this down to the 35-yard line. Now after the completion, we're going to get a timeout, an injured player. We'll check on his status when we return to Orchard Park. This offense finding its legs now. Here's another first and 10.
Watch it.
From the gun, Bryant towards the end zone for Brown. And it's caught. Touchdown. Hollywood Marquise Brown with touchdown number 8 on the year. And his guys have taken the lead. And he's a little bit on the shorter side as a receiver. Maybe sometimes for the defense, tough to find the little guys, right?
Yeah, sometimes they get lost in the traffic, but usually what it means is that rather than just winning with height or even speed, they use their quickness to find a way to get open.
Well, tall, short, wide, skinny, whatever, there it results in a touchdown. The point after is good, and the lead is now 10-3. Out is the kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away. That's fielded in the end zone. And this return net's positive as he gets past the 25 and up to the 27-yard line. The Bills come to the line to start their next drive. And, you know, certainly a lot of football left to be played. We're not into December yet, but right now where we stand, they're first place in their division. Looking good, looking to be a threat come January.
And let's think about what every team has in their goals, all right? Number 1 goal is what? Make the playoffs. Number 2 goal is win your division. Number 3 goal, and the biggest goal, I think, is to be the highest seed possible that you can be heading into the playoffs so that you can try to have as many home games as possible to try and get you to the Super Bowl.
And right now fighting for everyone possible to try to at least secure home field for the wild card and or divisional round. That one, a first down pickup of 8. Back-to-back good plays have them on the move on first down. Now Haskins on first down, and this will be incomplete. Physical play on the football there, and it's second down.
And it is true. You can draft the fastest, you can draft the most athletic guys, but if they don't know the art of positioning, sometimes it's all for naught. In this case, in the right spot. Helped force the incompletion.
Yeah, but had his hands on it for a second. Would have been a tough catch, though. Falls incomplete. Second and 10. Here's Haskins again. The completion good. This is Eric Ebron. 12 yards that time, and a Bills first down.
And when you're playing a quarterback with some experience and some moxie, you enter the danger zone when you decide to blitz him, because if he's able to diagnose as he did on that play, he can hurt you downfield.
He reads defenses so well, doesn't he?
He really does, and the best part about that play for him, I don't think that was his primary target.
I don't think so either.
I think he had the read, figured out where the blitz was coming from, and went to a secondary target for a really nice gain.
Jim, 61, match back,
A first down carry for Barkley. And the running lane's non-existent in this first half as they'll stop him behind the line. It'll be a loss of a yard, and it'll be 2nd and 11.
Brings up 2nd and 11. At the 45-yard line. 15. Get ready, get ready, get ready.
Off the play fake. Here's Haskins. Got a man over the middle, and it's complete. And they're able to work this to the 25 before it's all said and done. That one, a gain of 20 and a first down. Haskins now 7 of 10 here in this first half, and he's got a 1st and 10.
Under 10, 10.
Throwing now, Haskins on first down. And he's going to be taken down here. A sack back at the 32.
Well, that play was the very definition of fast, quick, and in a hurry. Suddenly, he was there.
Yeah, blink of an eye, that happened fast, and a big sack. Work to be done here on 2nd and 16 after the sack. Now Haskins to throw on 2nd down. And this is incomplete. Michael Gallup, that's who he was looking for. And that'll make it 3rd down.
This defense has been very disruptive early on as they force another one to go awry.
Seems to be the front and the back end. Pass rush, they've been able to get home, and they're taking the ball away in coverage as well.
I love how you put it together. The front and back working in sync, only way to play good defense.
9th play of the drive now on 3rd and a country mile.
Man, I got you. Mike.
Now Haskins, 3rd and long. And the throw there going to be incomplete. More problems here on 3rd down. They've converted only once so far in this first half.
And you know as well as I do in this league, if you don't win on 3rd down, it makes it hard to win a ball game, because then you're relying on your defense, you're relying on your special teams. You've got to get it done with your offensive unit.
No problems in the field goal department so far. He's 2 for 2.
Pretty reliable here in this game, isn't he? And to me, that bodes well for them. If they need him late in the game, his confidence should be sky high.
Fielded about a yard deep. And he'll wind up about 4 yards shy of where he would have been if he had taken a knee, as they'll start at the 21-yard line. The offense now at the line, ready for their next drive. And they're hoping to redo their efforts in the last drive when they got into the end zone.
And just think of what it's like now on the sideline, because when you score a touchdown, you have to go over and look at the tablet and see what you did on the last drive. When you scored points, it's a whole lot better view than when you're trying to figure out how to fix things there.
And we'll remind you that coming up at halftime, we'll join Jonathan Coachman and the gang in Orlando. Coach will have stats and scores from the early games going on here around the NFL. Throwing on first down. Bryant. Oh, it's a screen pass. That's complete.
I know most of the time when the ball's in the air, you're thinking wide receiver, tight end, but running backs, they can be a big part of any passing offense nowadays.
2nd and 5. Going right side here, and that's complete. And he's got a first down as the tackle made at the Bills' 43.
That was a nicely run slant route, and what the receiver's trying to do is make the defender think he's going upfield for a deeper route, and then breaks it off, usually after about 3 to 4 steps, and cuts towards the middle of the field. And now what he's trying to do is use his body to keep the defender away from the football and give the quarterback a really nice target.
Mixon with a first down carry. And he got blown up. Losing yardage on the play back at the 44. It's a loss of a yard there, and it's second down. Operating from the gun, Bryant. Oh, he got position on him, and he pulls it in. And all the way in for the touchdown. John Ross, his 5th touchdown now on the year. And his guys are going to add on to their lead. Extra point right down the middle. And the decision to just kick the extra point winds up successful. Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes. This is taken about 7 yards deep. Able to slither by. And the decision to come out is going to cost him 5 as he's taken down right at the 20. Buffalo offense ready to go for their next drive. Well, look at the clock here. You're inside of a minute. First half hasn't gone that well for you. How are you going to play this drive?
Well, I've been told by my coaches previously that the intelligent approach, go ahead and run out the clock and start over. Don't make any more mistakes. But there's also something to understanding that you get this last drive here. You get the ball to start the second half. Try to go 2 for 1 here. Get some points now and come out of the locker room and get more points again and get your momentum really built up. I think it all came together there. In-breaking route, drove it with excellent pace. Money throw right there to move the sticks.
So they'll come up 1st and 10 now from the 33.
You don't want it.
On 1st and 10, it's Haskins. Gets this out to Saquon Barkley. And he will lose yardage here to the 31-yard line. Now the Bills will use the second of their timeouts as the clock will stop with 20 seconds to go in the first half. That pass play wound up for negative yardage, so here's 2nd and 11.
Hey, 25 to Mike. We're going 25 to Mike.
Hey, here I come. Here I come. Here I come. Here I come. Wahoo.
Hey, 25 to Mike.
Second down, Haskins. Oh, he's able to outmuscle him here as he pulls it in. And the Bills are going to go ahead and use their final timeout as they'll stop the clock with 12 seconds to go in this first half. Haskins now hitting on 2/3 of his passes, 10 for 15 so far. 1st and 10.
Mike 50, Mike 50. Hey. Jack. Shift.
Cover. Delta.
Haskins looking to throw on 1st down. That's going to be caught by Kirk. And he'll be out just a yard or 2 shy of the 30. 10 yards, good enough for a Buffalo first down. So even though it's first down, here's the field goal unit on now to try to get 3 before halftime. There'll be a 49-yard attempt from the left hash. And this is right down the middle as he puts it through. So a big play before the end of the half to get him into this spot, and they cash in with 3.
How about the 1-2 to the solar plexus on that one? The big play, the field goal, not much time left on the clock. That's the way to go into the half.
We play to win. Let's go.
The offense back out there at the line, ready for their next drive. Time for a final kneel down or a safe run, and then they can head to the locker room with a lead.
Yeah, or they can even run a screen. You know, something they feel is somewhat safe that might actually pop and turn into a big play. That's what you usually run in this situation.
Or go 4 verticals because why not?
Because you're feeling it, right? You're just feeling it.
We have hit halftime. Still 2 more quarters to go. We'll take a timeout. We'll be back after this. You're watching the NFL, and it's on EA Sports. It's in the game. This is taken at the 3. And he'll take this one near the 25, call it the 26-yard line. The Bills come to the line to start their next drive. They're down here, but very much in this game. What's the tonality of a coach's talk when a game is within striking distance like this at intermission?
Typically, what they're doing is emphasizing the things that went well in the first half and wanting more of that. Sure, you've got to go over some of the errors and clean up some things because there's a reason you're down. But overall, I think they want to stay positive, stay up with this team. We're just starting the second half, and we've got the football. Let's go ahead and punch it in, and then we'll take it from there.
See how that recipe works. Now problems right out of the gate. We're going to get a delay. And that'll be accepted, of course, and that moves them back 5. Now they need 15 yards on this series after the delay of game. 1st and 15. From the gun, it's Haskins. Haskins hit, and he lost the football.
On plays like this where the ball comes free, it's often unusual for the team that lost it to get it back. Because this is the quarterback. The ball gets away from him. Everyone else is trying to execute what they're supposed to do on offense. They're usually looking in the other direction, downfield, or have moved away from him. In this case, though, a teammate is able to come up with the ball.
Now then, after the sack, it'll be interesting to see what they have planned for 2nd and 23.
Check right, check right.
On 2nd down, here's Haskins. Oh, he's got a man wide open, complete. Well, they'll get 9 there as that sets him up better for 3rd down.
One thing I can say pretty safely, that route is not called if you don't have a guy who can throw the ball and put some mustard on it. Because if you're going to lollipop it in the middle of the field.
Haskins hit, and he lost the football. So instead of giving them another 3rd down, they'll decline it, brings up 4.
Now that's smart football right there. You don't even have to really spend a lot of time considering it. Just know that you're probably going to get the ball back. Good job declining that penalty.
Palardy now on to punt as he sends this one away. Fielded at about the 28. A good return there, 17 yards. And possession will switch hands, 1st and 10. The offense now at the line, ready for their next drive. They were able to get the ball back here, didn't surrender any points. Now they'll look to add to that lead.
Hey, how about the boost the defense gave them? Going right out on the field, shutting them down, not giving up any points, and turning the ball back over. They want to do their part now and show them a little respect and some gratitude by scoring some points.
And to get a little more cushion. That last catch short of the marker by just a yard leaves him with a very manageable 2nd and 1. They'll run with Mixon. And he'll be brought down at the 45-yard line. 2 yards, good enough for a first.
Tough first half for him, unable to put up the numbers he's used to producing. But with a guy like him, you and I both know it just takes a couple of explosive touches for him to make an impact on this game and on the stat sheet as well.
Back to Mixon on 1st down. And this has been a familiar sight all afternoon as they stop him behind the line. That's going to go as a loss of 2, and it'll be 2nd down. To throw on 2nd down, Bryant. And his throw here's incomplete. He was looking for John Ross that time. 3rd down here.
I know our vantage point might be a little bit better way up here, but that looked like an ill-advised throw to me. I didn't see anything open, and this play just didn't look right from the beginning.
It did not. I thought he might get outside and just chuck it away. Dangerous pass, incomplete. Back to throw. Bryant. And that will be incomplete as well. The rookie from Washington, Taylor Rapp, there to knock that away.
Let's give some credit to the defensive guys on that play. Able to bat that one away. Sure looked like they were trying to hit the corner route.
And this punt sails over the sideline. And the spot, it looks to be right at the 25-yard line. Buffalo offense ready to go for their next drive. And on the last go-around, they really couldn't get anything going.
They had to punt from deep inside their own territory, which means you're going to lose the field position battle as a general rule. What they're looking for now is a little more consistency, move the ball at least a few times on offense, get a couple of first downs, and hopefully flip the field.
Yeah, just something to build off of. That's what they're looking for here. 5 yards on the catch there, brings up second down.
Good throw, good catch, but I really like the route. The drag and being able to run away from defenders, hard to stick with them for that long.
Yeah, better against man than zone, or?
Better against man, because now you're running away from someone and you're not running into a defensive player in another zone.
Ball on the 30. They'll come up with a 2nd and 5.
Check. We've got 25 to Mike. Coming. 2-6.
Looking to throw, Haskins. Open man is Kirk, complete.
Many teams, as soon as they spot man defense, if they haven't called a hitch, they'll get to it as fast as they can. They want to put the ball in the hands of one of their best playmakers and hope that he can break a tackle on the outside and go for big yardage.
Mike's 50, Mike's 50. Let's go. Come on. Can we go?
On 3rd and 1, it's Haskins. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down.
The amount of sacks that they've absorbed in this game is absolutely extraordinary. Let's just face it. This offensive line, flat out, cannot handle this pass rush. It's been demonstrated time and time again.
And he gets this away, and look at this. This is a good one. And this will pin him back deep. That's going to kick out of bounds right at about the 7-yard line. So they'll play the field position game here as a very nice punt is going to pin him back.
Yeah, it's almost like watching a game of tennis, or do you prefer ping pong? You know, back and forth like that? That definitely was excellent, wasn't it?
They'll try to get the run game going. This is Mixon. And he's going to take this up past the 10 to about the 11. Now a stoppage here as we've got a Bill shaken up on the play. We'll check on his status when we return to Orchard Park.
Check.
Looking to throw on 2nd down. Bryant. Now they go screen. It's complete. And past the 40 before he's out of bounds. Give him 32 on the play.
I know we love our jobs, and pretty much any play we see, we're pretty, excited about. But big plays, let's face it, that's what we absolutely live for. How about that one?
That was great. And what our camera missed was the fist pump from the sideline after that catch. They're fired out. That's a big game. They'll run on 1st down. Mixon. And taking it across midfield and just shy of the 40. 17 more yards on that one as they keep the drive rolling.
Sometimes it's hard to believe, but there are times this game is about patience, isn't it? Has had the game he expected, but that run there, that may get him going.
I was just going to say, maybe that gives him a little juice, because you're right, he struggled, especially in that first half.
Yeah, and I know the great ones always think to themselves, just hang in there. I'm just one big carry away from busting this open. That's a good start for him.
And this winds up a pickup of 2, maybe 2.5 to about the 39.
A gain of 2 brings up 2nd and 8 at the 39-yard line.
Let's go. Go to base. Bring it. Check safety. Hold.
And that is going to do it for this 3rd quarter of action. This is the National Football League on EA Sports.
Buddy up. We're Mike 96. All day, dog. Check your hot wheel.
To throw on 2nd down. Bryant, and he almost had it defensively. Could have been a game changer there in this 2nd half. Instead, it's 3rd down. First down marker at the 31. It's 3rd down.
Check out. Check out. Hot. Go.
From the gun, Bryant. Wide open receiver, complete. And he's got a first down as a tackle made at the Bills' 19.
Couldn't just sit on it here, could they? Had to throw the ball on third down. Got the big completion in the pickup. Fresh set of downs now. They've got to feel great.
And defensively, a backbreaker. This quarterback now 6 for 6 since coming back out of the locker room. It's 1st and 10. They go back to the ground now with Mixon. And he will lose yardage here back at the 23-yard line. It's a loss of 4 there, bringing up 2nd down. Run blitz there defensively, something we might see more of here in the fourth quarter.
I think we'll see a lot of it, and the difference between that and a pass blitz, you're just trying to get to the quarterback. You're trying to scheme someone open who will get to the QB and make sure he gets on the ground. In a run blitz, you're actually trying to cover up gaps, trying to cover up holes so they can't run the football.
Looking to throw on 2nd down. Bryant got a man open. It's Ross. And able to get him down, but he does reach the 5. They call his number again. It's his 6th catch and a first down. So 1st and goal, 6 points here would go a long way toward wrapping this one up. Mixon. And he goes backwards on this one, losing yardage to the 7. A loss of 2 there, 2nd down.
Well, it's been the air game that's taken them down on this drive before they finally turned around and handed it off on the last play.
And now they're looking for the big boys to get him in the end zone. Couldn't do it there.
It'll be interesting to see. Offensive lines had to pass block a lot on this drive. Will they be able to revert and fire out and create some space in the run game?
Looking for his running back, and he's got him. Now the Bills are going to use the first of their timeouts. It's just their first. They'll be down to 2 remaining as we step aside here in the fourth quarter. This has been a long drive. You got to figure a field goal would be a letdown. Can they convert now on 3rd and goal? Looking to throw. Bryant. And that is incomplete.
I'm going to need some help with this one. How did he miss it? Wide open in the end zone. He's not hurried. He's not hit. And somehow, incomplete?
Yeah.
What happened?
During film study, that's one where he's just going to shake his head, not be able to believe it.
6 points go by the wayside on that one.
So his 2nd field goal of the game, and that could turn out to be the big one.
Yeah, you have to make them score twice to beat you, and that's not impossible. But here in the fourth quarter, push their backs clearly against the wall.
And all that work, but he stopped where he ultimately would have been, and he's simply taken a knee, and that's the 25-yard line. The Bills come to the line to start their next drive. And with this deficit, you can't have too many more drives like the last drive where you had to punt it away.
No doubt you tell my offense right here. The punter doesn't exist, guys. He doesn't even exist. He's not a team anymore. I just cut him. All right? So you've got to go out and create some offense for us here and give us some points. No way does that guy get on the field on this drive.
Poor punter.
Yeah, it wasn't his fault. But listen, there got to be casualties at times. We're trying to win a game.
The end result, 21 yards on the draw. This is Barkley. And they're going to get him behind the line yet again as his nightmare afternoon continues. It's a gain of 13 and a Buffalo first down. Here's Haskins to throw. We should mention, to go along with a great game he had last week, he was rightfully named AFC Offensive Player of the Week.
And he shares that with his offensive line, the tight end, his fullback. He's looking for more and more of that in this game.
Throwing again on 2nd down. Haskins, that's complete. He's got Barkley out of the backfield. It's a pickup of 12, and that'll set up a 3rd down. It was a solid check down there with pressure coming, wasn't it?
It was, because you're trying to go through your progression, and when you have that type of pressure in your face, it changes what you're doing and how fast you have to do your reads, and able to come back and find him in open space. That's a really nice play.
And he's able to hook up with Michael Gallup. And he will have the first down before he's tackled at the 12. On 1st down, it's Haskins. And he's going to be taken down, sacked back around the 18-yard line. Now the Bills will use the 2nd of their timeouts. That's going to leave them with just 1 remaining here in this fourth quarter. Protection certainly going to need to be a bit better here on 2nd and 16.
Watch tight end. Tight end's right. Tight end's right. Hey, we got 3 down, 3 down. 82 is mine. I got 82. 82 is mine. Switch. Mike 50. You must be.
Now Haskins to throw it. That's going to be caught at the 10-yard line. And he's going to be brought down just shy of the 5 at the 6. It's a pickup of 12, and that'll set up a 3rd down.
Now 3rd down and 4.
Hey, 50 to Mike, 50.
2 minutes left to play in this football game here on EA Sports.
That's the
So it's Bills football here as we get you reset. They face a 3rd down now as they try to find a late score. From the gun, Haskins on 3rd down. The quick slant caught. He didn't get the touchdown, but he did get the 1st down as he's tackled at the 1. The gain of, and this is caught now for a late touchdown. So hold everything here. This one's not over yet. There's certainly some importance to this one now. After the touchdown, they could get this down to a field goal with a 2-point conversion. Now it's Haskins. And, a crusher there as it's intercepted. A great read, and it's picked off. He's at the 50, 30, the 20, 10, 5, and he takes it all the way back. It's a pick 2, if you will, as that play backfires in a big way. So a 7-point game, they'll need a recovery, the touchdown, and an extra point to tie. And the hands team does its job. They're able to secure it. And they just about had to get that recovery to have any chance. They only have 1 timeout. You look at the clock. And let's do the math here, Charles. This one's pretty much over.
Yeah, we do have a chart here, don't we, that tells us about the timeouts.
You do. I'm not as smart as you.
And in looking at it, you're exactly right. Chart's not going to help them here at all. They're pretty much done at this stage. They had to have that recovery.
That one looks like he'll throw here. Got a man. It's Brown. And the Bills are going to go ahead and use their final timeout as they'll talk things over prior to this upcoming 2nd down play. 6 yards was the pickup on the last completion, so here's 2nd and 4.
Right here, guys. Mike 51. Mike 51. Let's go.
2nd and 4. And his throw is incomplete. That was a safety Taylor Rapp right there on the coverage.
There are a good number of coaches that any time they call an in route are really worried about the play because there's so much traffic ordinarily that the ball has to get through to get to the receiver. And on that play, it was batted down.
Back to throw. Bryant, and he will not be able to hang on through the contact. It's incomplete. The coverage strong, and now it's 4th down.
You hear the calls for a penalty, but I just don't think so. I think in this situation, the defender was making sure his guy couldn't hold on to the football. So I don't see anything to warrant a flag.
No, I'm with you. There was contact, but I'm happy they kept that flag in the back pocket. And that one's not going to get there. Not enough juice, an ambitious effort, but it's well short. And this score will stay right where it is. But things just got interesting. They tried for the long field goal there to salt this one away. They don't get it, and now a little time for the other guys to mount a late drive.
Well, they thought their kicker would put it through the post and finish this one off. I'm sure they discussed pooch punting it and letting their defense take over. Well, the defense now has to make it stand up, but they didn't get the best.
Down the numbers. There he goes. And all the way home for a Bills touchdown. A big play there. His 3rd touchdown now on the year. As they can now tie the game with the extra point here in the final 2 minutes. A very important extra point there, up and good. And, partner, we've got a tie game here in the 4th. So here comes the kickoff now, all even here in this 4th quarter. Fielded about a yard deep. And he'll wind up getting an extra couple yards here for his trouble as he'll bring this one out to the 27. The offense back out there at the line, ready for their next drive. They've got work to do, but they do still have a bit of time here.
And they've got to feel comfortable with that, but they have all their play sequences called. If they get out of bounds, that allows them to huddle and call another play. But if they don't, it's hurry up to the line of scrimmage and either spike it and stop the clock or continue to move it downfield in order to try and get in range and win this game.
See if they can do just that. Solid way to start the drive. 13 yards, picking up the first. On first down, Bryant. He's going to have the hook up to Ross. And able to rip off a big chunk of yardage before being dropped inside the 40. Back-to-back good plays have them on the move on first down.
Check 13.
They'll run here with Mixon. He's brought down at the 34. Call it a gain of 4. Second and 6. Oh, he's got a man running before he's brought down. He has been terrific today, hasn't he?
Yeah, absolutely. Running flawless 2-minute drill right here. This has been quarterbacking 101 with a flourish.
First down, Mixon, and he's in for the touchdown, and in the final seconds, forget overtime, they've just likely won this thing in regulation.
I don't know how many more of these my heart can take, my man. I just don't know. Another big touchdown late in the game. They look like they're in control, but still, there's a chance. Block the extra point, go down and score, kick the extra point themselves. They can pull this one out.
Yeah, but also on the sideline that just took the lead, you got to get your defense ready and the special teams unit for the kickoff coming up.
Yeah, you're exactly right. Got to pull everyone together and make sure they're still focused and aren't already celebrating a win.
This will be taken in at the 1. And a good return as he'll be stopped just shy of the 30-yard line. Final score now on our NFL scoreboard. And give that one to the Cardinals. They wind up winners. And if they could hold on to that lead, it would be win number 4 on the season for them.
Watch the twist. Shift. 50, Mike, 50. All right, T, let's go. All right, T. Slam.
Haskins to throw. To Barkley on the check down. And they'll wind up getting this to the 37. Gain of 9. Well, going into the final play of this game, they knew that they needed some type of a miracle there at the very end, but they couldn't get it done. However, we were treated to really a spectacular affair.
Even though they didn't finish it off, you're exactly right. They took us down to the last play. We're still, you were wondering, could it happen? Possibly, even though we both knew it was a long shot.
So for Orlando, they'll finish the first half of the schedule dead even at 4-4. And they will head back home next week. Meanwhile, for the Bills, the loss will drop them to 6-3 now on the year. And they're going to get an extra week to stew over this as they're not back in action until week 11. So for Charles Davis and our entire crew, I'm Brandon Gaudin. Next game, guess what? Charles and I will be here again. It's the NFL on EA Sports.
Hey, everybody, it's the...
So the football will be at the 25-yard line as this offense gets set to take over.
Let's go. 15, run. 15, run. You're not ready. You're not ready. Let's go.
On 1st and 10, Lawrence. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Rashawn Gary. Credit him with a sack as he buries him for a loss of 10. That's called setting the tone right away.
It certainly is, and it lets you know just how important communication is amongst the offensive line. They talk about it all the time, knowing each other's moves. You've got to be coordinated and in sync. Otherwise, your quarterback gets hit.
Call it a gain of 5, and it'll be a 2nd and long. Looking to throw. Lawrence. Catch made. It's Moreau. Now, Charles, what's the mindset here offensively? You gave up the touchdown pretty quickly. Would it have changed if you had gotten a stop and it would be 0-0 right now, or no?
I wouldn't think so. I think in most cases, just down a touchdown, you know, I mean, we're just getting started here. It should be a long way to go. You think to yourself, stick with the game plan, all the things you worked on in practice. But you have some teams that when they get down, their natural tendency is to aggressively strike back. And let's see if they want to get outside of the game plan we expect and try and be aggressive on their first series.
No returning this one. It sails out of bounds. And they'll... And we drop you into the start of this next possession. The score, 7-0. On the ground, this is Saquon Barkley. And this will go as a gain of 7 as he gets it to the 30-yard line. A good run got 7 on first. Here's 2nd and 3. 2nd and 3. We'll get this out to Barkley complete. They had the catch on 2nd down, but it didn't help at all, and now they're looking at 3rd down here. Back to throw. Lawrence. And that is incomplete.
I think the punter might start to get into a pretty good rhythm here if he keeps getting opportunities. But that's the last thing his team wants to have happen, right? The last thing you want to see is your punter feeling pretty good because he's out there all the time.
Yeah, first quarter only, but they're 0 for 2 on 3rd down conversion. This offense ready to head back out there as they'll take over with a little over a minute to play in this first quarter. Throwing it on 1st down. Lawrence. And that's going to be incomplete. Too tough to hold on to that one. It's 2nd down. An incomplete pass leads to 2nd and 10 from the 25. Throwing again. Lawrence. And that is incomplete. A lot of force bearing down on him there. He could not hang on. It's 3rd down. So back-to-back incompletions, and that has him staring at a 3rd and 10. Looking to throw. Lawrence looking for Clark. He's got him complete. Excellent execution, and now they're set up nicely.
Are they ever? Red zone? I wonder what the next play call is going to be, because after a big play like that, a lot of teams like to use the momentum to launch another one.
Throwing on 1st down, but this one winds up to be incomplete. Mecole Hardman, the intended target. And now it's 2nd down.
Alpha.
Back to the air on 2nd down. Lawrence. Quick hitter here. It's complete. And he'll go down here at the 12-yard line. 4 yards on the completion, and it sets up a 3rd down. Back to throw. Lawrence. And that is incomplete. Oh, he had a defender right there with him to force that to the ground. And 4th down now coming up. Sanders' kick is good. And they get themselves on the board here. It's 10-3. So they do get 3 points, but that's now 3 drives with only the 3 points. Not a ratio that's going to win you many ball games.
Not at all, Brandon. And think about it this way.
So second quarter, this offense losing and hoping to get the football in the end zone for the first time. On first down, Lawrence. And that is incomplete. He couldn't hold on through the contact. Brings up second down.
You get a tight end like this, and you know he's used to dishing out punishment, but here, he's the one that has to absorb the contact, and as a result, unable to hold on to the football.
The throw on the quick slant going to be complete. And able to get this one across the 45 before he's brought down. Looking to throw, Lawrence. And the tip there altered the ball flight, and it falls incomplete. It'll be second down. After the incomplete pass, here now is second and 10. Second and 10. And that'll be incomplete. Good protection that time, and they couldn't hook up on the long one. Now it's third down. Now they face a third and 10 after back-to-back incompletions. And now the third down throw incomplete as well.
Certainly looked like they were getting ready to convert there on third down, but what an effort to get his hand on that one, knock it away, and brings up a fourth down decision.
And this is going to hit the goal line and continue on into the end zone for a touchback. So now this offense will take over, and they will have the football at their own 20-yard line. On first and 10, Lawrence. Into heavy traffic, and it's intercepted. Picked up by Josh Jackson. A road win in the National Football League. Charles, you never take that for granted no matter who you're playing, no matter where you're playing.
You take it and you run with it. And you know you primed the pump all week in your own home facility. No one thinks we can do this. Only people who believe are right here in this room. And then you go on the road, band together, and get it done.
So for Atlanta, it's an ideal start as they move to 3-0 now on the young season. And they'll get another road test next week as they head to Big D to take on the Cowboys. Meanwhile, for the home team here, they suffered defeat for the first time as they dropped to 2-1. And they'll get the extra week to think about this one as they return to action in 2 weeks' time.
clock. The Bills are now on the clock. The Jaguars are now on the clock. The Bills are now on the clock. The Broncos are now on the clock. The Bills are now on the clock. The Jaguars are now on the clock. The Bills are now on the clock.
How come nobody's at the podium? That's because both teams are right now working on a trade.
The Bills are now on the clock.
Well, wait, looks like both war rooms are feverishly back on the phones. I think that means a trade is coming.
The Bills are now on the clock.
Hold on now. This pick is trading teams.
The Bills are now on the clock.
Well, if you're wondering what the delay is, I think we've got a trade coming here.
The Bills are now on the clock. The Broncos are now on the clock. The Bills are now on the clock.
I see both teams filling out cards. You know what that means? We've got a trade.
The Bills are now on the clock.
Ladies and gentlemen, we've got a trade.
The Bills are now on the clock.
How come nobody's at the podium? That's because both teams are right now working on a trade.
The Bills are now on the clock.
Well, wait, looks like both war rooms are feverishly back on the phones. I think that means a trade is coming.
You have an injury from the last game. See how long they'll be out. You have a player healed from injury and ready to play. This is the last opportunity to re-sign your players or they'll become free agents.
The Jaguars are now on the clock. The Bills are now on the clock. The Buccaneers are now on the clock. The Bills are now on the clock. The Ravens are now on the clock. The Bills are now on the clock. The Cowboys are now on the clock. The Bills are now on the clock.
Hold on now. This pick is trading teams.
The Bills are now on the clock. The Buccaneers are now on the clock. The Bills are now on the clock.
Well, if you're wondering what the delay is, I think we've got a trade coming here.
The Cardinals are now on the clock. The Ravens are now on the clock. The Bears are now on the clock. The Cowboys are now on the clock. The Saints are now on the clock. The Bills are now on the clock.
I see both teams filling out cards. You know what that means? We've got a trade.
The Bills are now on the clock.
Ladies and gentlemen, we've got a trade.
The Bills are now on the clock.
How come nobody's at the podium? That's because both teams are right now working on a trade.
The Bills are now on the clock. The Bengals are now on the clock. The Bills are now on the clock.